Hey guys, Dan here, and today I'm going to do a quick little review, a quick little demonstration, and explain to you why I went with this particular model, Velke. Velke with a V. And we also say Sulky, Sulky with an S-U. So you got Velke and Sulky. What's the difference? I don't know. It used to be that a Sulky was the seat that would attach like a Velke, and a Velke was the stand-on one. Then the Velke went to a one-wheel, and a Sulky went to a two-wheel. But pretty much, if you say a Sulky or you say a Velke, we all understand it, and really the only thing we want to know is one wheel or two wheels. So this is a two-wheel Velke, and it's made by Bradley Mowers, is the company that I purchased it from. I link to it in the video descriptions, and I will link to it for your ease in the comment section. This particular model cost me, shipped to my door, less than $200. They also have the next model up, which has a slightly different configuration, which allows you to pull this up and hook it up and chain it a little bit easier than this, but you can still do it with this. It's just not quite as easy. I've used Velkes my entire mowing career with belt-driven walk-behinds. You can go back into my John Deere, do a search on YouTube for DansVlog John Deere 52-inch, and you'll find my 52-inch hydro where I had the Velke. I can't remember if it was a one-wheel or two-wheel. I think it was a two-wheel that came with it. I have more miles on a Velke in this industry than a lot of you young guns have in a car. So I have a lot of experience. So that's why I wanted to do a video and explain to you why I went with this particular model. Not necessarily brand, but this particular model. As far as brand, we'll make a few points about it. We'll talk about it, but I'll leave it up to you. If you got deep pockets and you want to go expensive, by all means, go for it. But I have to do review videos of equipment that you guys are going to afford as side hustle guys. You can purchase these all the way up to $350, $400 and more, even $500. They have like wheel bearings instead of bushings, you know, different things like that that really do make a difference, and they increase in the price dramatically. Look, I'm going to make a point. This is kind of controversial, so, you know, you can say you get what you pay for, or I'm a one and done kind of guy, but here's the point. You can buy this. I think I paid $150 shipped to my door for this. I don't remember. You can buy this, and you can buy 3 of these for $450. It'll last you the rest of your life if you did that. Or you can buy one $450 super high cost, super well built, super wheel bearinged with like skateboard bearings and super this and super that, you know, for $400, $450. And in 2 seasons, when you throw your first one out and you break out the second one, in 2 seasons, that super high class one, you're going to be buying new wheel bearings, probably after a couple of years, depending on how many yards you mow. You're going to be needing new this, you're going to be needing new that. It's not like in 2 or 3 seasons that super high expensive one isn't going to need something, whether it's tires, whether it's something. You're going to need to put more money into that super high expensive one. But the bearings might still be good. So my point is, especially if you're just starting out, you know, you get the one for $150, $160, see if you like it, make sure you're comfortable with it, and after a season or 2, depending on how many yards you buy, go buy another one. If you have to, only if you have to, or just try to buy a wheel assembly for $18 to $25. You see what I'm saying? You're still way ahead of the game. So nothing against you guys with your super expensive ones and all that, and that's all cool. And some people are a one and done type of person, and I get that, and I support that. I'm not. You know, it took me a long time to build up to this, and now this is my one and done mower. But as far as the Velke is concerned, you're going to be going through parts, going through wheels, going through this, going through that you're going to turn around and be putting money into it. Whether it's $500 or $100. Either way, you're going to be putting money into it. So strongly consider your options for like these low cost ones, just to get your foot in the door, make sure you like it, and after a couple seasons, if you have to, go buy another one. Now you got $300 invested, you're still ahead of the game with those super expensive ones. It's just something to think about. So Let me pull the camera around and I'm going to show you guys something. It'll actually be better for me to just pull the mower around. So why did I go with a 2-wheel Velke versus a 1-wheel Velke? Well, simply put, when you're running a walk behind or something like this, you see the tire tracks are here, right? And you're going to put tire tracks in your customer's yard. If you look at the front caster wheels to the back wheel, when you run a 1-wheel Velke, you're putting an extra wheel right here with your body weight. You're putting a pizza cutter tire that's about this wide right here in the middle, and then your body weight. Me, 160. Of course, unless you're looking at my Tinder profile, 210, 6'1". We already know that one. Recycled joke. Anyways, so you got your 160 to 250 pound person on a little pizza cutter wheel right here in the middle, and you are putting a nice mark in the yard. You're adding a little bit of the mud pit when you're mowing wet grass and your wheels are putting a little bit of dirt, pulling up a little bit of mud, and you're starting to leave a little bit of black marks. You're putting one more black mark right here. And it starts to look really bad as you're going up and down, whether it's wet yard or not wet yard. You start putting a lot of extra wheel marks in the yard. And all of a sudden it starts to look like you're slicing the yard up pretty bad, like a sheet cake. I didn't say S-H-I-T, I said sheet. So like a sheet cake. And you're starting to cut it up like really big time. When you go with a 2-wheel Velke, you're putting your weight across 2 wheels now. So you're more evenly distributing the weight, and these wheels ride in line with the drive wheels of your walk behind. And that's going to be just about every brand you have, even a 32-inch. These wheels are in line with a 32-inch, a 36-inch, a 48-inch, and a 52-inch. No issues. So if you're using a walk behind, using a 2-wheel does make it a little bit more appealing. When you're done, you're not adding all those extra tire tracks, okay? So that's something to think about when you're purchasing a Velke or Sulky, whatever you want to call it. The next thing to think about, is going to be, do you get like no brands mentioned? I'm not, like Jungle Gym or Jungle Wheels or something like that. Jungle something, I'm not picking on them. That's just what comes to mind. They have a locked point right here, and then they got 2 big wheels that swivel back here. And that's all well and good on a straight line. But when you're in a tight area and you want to make a turn, that's the whole purpose of like a hydro walk behind. You want to be able to make that turn in a tight area. Now, if this is locked right here, and this is your pivot point is your back wheel, then when the front wheels go that way, this is coming this way, extended out 2.5, 3 feet. So you just extended your mower to swing. So you're going along a house and you approach a fence and you want to make a turn, you're hitting the house. You're banging the house with the wheel, with your body. I mean, no. With this, with the pivot like this and these wheels being solid, when you make a turn, you turn and this tracks. And I'll do a demo, which you just saw, but I'll do another demo right now. Okay, this is a pretty tight area. And I'm going to be pulling some 360s right here, some 180s right here, and I'm going to do it right here. And there's no way I would be able to do it on the type that has the caster wheels up here and this being fixed. I would be swinging way out. So as I approach like these chairs and I swing it around and I back up and stuff, it gets really hairy. So one thing to think about though is with a hydro, if you squeeze those wheels too much and you're in a turn, this thing's coming back, you need to watch your feet. And I'm going to demonstrate this for you. Okay, if you look right here, if this was a solid straight with the caster wheels, I would have hammered that stuff. But it's not. So I can use my Hydro walk behind for the $6,300 plus tax that I bought it for. And that's to be able to get close and back up and do things. Just have to be careful for your feet, as I'll demonstrate. So like I said, I got more miles on a two-wheel and a one-wheel Velke than most of you young guys have in a car. Obviously, I'm pretty smooth and pretty slick with it. And it helps to have a Hydro when you have a Velke like this, because like going forward and backing up and stuff like that, you just have to be really careful that you don't hurt yourself. Now, another thing is with a Hydro, there's a rule of thumb that people say you don't want a one-wheel because you'll snap your ankle. It doesn't make a difference if you're on one wheel or two wheels. If you're not careful and you come back too fast and you let that thing flip around on you, whether you got one wheel or two, you're in trouble because your feet are pretty much in here, and then momentum is going to keep your toes in there and stuff, and you're not going to be able to overpower the momentum of your feet coming around and you know, stuff like that. You need to know what you're doing with your hands. You need to go slow. You need to get used to it. But you saw I was able to mow pretty much between the chair and this welder and not take anything out, and my body wasn't swinging wide. Had this been locked, and I wish I had a way to show you, but had this been locked, when I come around that chair, I'd been swinging out. If that was a house, I'd be hitting the paint. You see, my body would be hitting the house, or if that was a fence right here. If this imaginary wall was a fence or a house, I would have nailed it. So that's why I don't like to use those big ones with the two big wheels up here. It extends your mower. So why? When you can do this and whip it instead of being out here hitting it. All right, so again, this is the Bradley Mowers two-wheel Sulky. They call it Sulky, but I call it Velke. What is the maximum weight? I would say probably 300 pounds, but I don't know. You got pneumatic tires, you put air in them. They got bushings right here with quick little pins. You can replace these. You can buy these rims and tires at like Harbor Freight, at Tractor Supply, stuff like that. You can get them online all day long. It's got 5 points to grease. Each wheel hub has a grease fitting, one there, one here. You got one right here for this swivel this way. So it does swivel for the mower or yourself hitting uneven ground. So as the mower's going like this, you know, your feet stay. So you got 1, 2, 3 grease fittings, 4, and then the 5th one is up here. Right there. Now, to take it off, it's really easy to take off. You pull this pin right here, pull this pin, and you got some spacers that are optional. I put them in for now because I'm not frustrated, but in time you won't even use those spacers. And then you just got your walk behind again. What I would really like about this setup that I have now is this pedal, when I'm standing here mowing, so when I put it back together, I'll show you, you can do depending on the height, you have all these different mounts, so you can change the height of this up and down. You can change this like this is one way. See the angle of where your feet go? Well, I'm not sure what happened, but the camera turned off. So where it left off was I was showing you this angle versus this angle. So you see if you spin it this way, the way this joint is, see how it's down? Now you spin it back this way, and it's back to level. Now you can put this together, no issues. You don't have to put those big old spacers back in if you don't want to. It's just going to make a little extra banging here. But what you can do is just put them on put the big spacers on the outside here, the little spacer on the inside, run it through. And then you have an outside spacer here. Pin it. All right, and that's it. So now it's level here. But yeah, you got all these different adjustments that you can do with it. So it's kind of neat. Another thing to show you guys, when you're on a Velke and you're standing like this, when you have the pedal for the grass flat, you can, while you're mowing, you can just work the grass flat, and you don't have to take your hands off. So they do kind of work hand in hand together. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. I didn't have my wireless mic plugged in, so I was having issues there. So that's the Bradley Mowers two-wheel Velke Sulky. Its model number is TS2000N. The next one up is TS2000NS, as in Sam, I believe, which allows you probably some type of a little different configuration here or something to where you can strap this up. It's not something I ever did back in the day. I didn't strap up my Velkes except for the one-wheel Velkes, and that was only because it wouldn't fit on my trailer. I couldn't shut the door. Other than that, I never strap my Velke up while I'm mowing because for one, it hits your knees, and for two, it puts too much weight back here and bounces your deck. Then you got to buy the weight. So the way this is set up, your weight is evenly distributed across these wheels, and you don't bounce your deck. Unless you pop your controls like I did a few times in here. But yeah, you don't bounce your deck, so it works out pretty good. But yep, that's it. That's the two-wheel Velke, and you see it's real super smooth and pretty inexpensive. So hope this helps you guys out and shows you a little something. I wasn't going to get one until I picked up these larger accounts, and now that I have these larger accounts, the two-wheel Velke is definitely a good addition to the side hustle. All right, so thank you guys very much, and I'll see you on the next one.